Referendum 120, and it's VR, which I assume is voter referendum, or no, veto referendum, which is vetoing, obviously, Tina Kotek's sport tampons illegally imposed House Bill 3991, which was imposed after the special session of legislation end of last year in September, which she had to put in because they had gone into recess in the normal session because nobody could agree upon how they should fund ODOT, Oregon Department of Transportation. And so as a result, Tina Kotek's tampon put her proposal forward in the special session immediately, and everyone in the state, no matter what their age was, no matter their background, no matter immigrant or multi-generational Oregonian or from out of state or from, voter or not, like literally everybody was coming unglued on her ass for it because they were so livid. They already hated the original. They hated hers even more. It was even more insulting. I have a full dedicated video on that, by the way, breaking it down, and also why voters also are just livid about it and they don't want to support transportation funding at all anymore in Oregon. But this one especially. This is the veto of the increasing the gas tax, the payroll tax, the vehicle registration fees, and all that good stuff. So this is to repeal it. House Bill 3991 was passed during special legislative session in September 25. It was not. It was literally staunchly rejected. They exited without anything. Even all the news stories at the time were talking about how nothing happened during it. Nobody agreed on anything. So that's a lie. So BS. And here's the thing: is that I wouldn't blame Ballotpedia for that lie. I'm guaranteed they're just basically parroting what is already out there in the script for media and everybody else. Yeah. So they're just saying what the official wording is saying. Yeah, like look at this. Vehicle title fees would go from $77
to $216. Jesus.
Ugh. Passenger vehicles, an increase from $43 to $85.
Jeez!
Utility trailers or light trailers from $63 to $105. Mopeds and motorcycles, $44 to $86. Low speed vehicles, quote unquote, which I would assume be mopeds, but they have mopeds and motorcycles together, so. Four-wheeled motor vehicle with a top speed between 20 and 25, but those almost don't exist. An increase from 63 to 105.
Chimney criminy!
I like how two of these are not doubled, and then two of them are doubled. Would increase the state transit payroll tax from 0.1 to 0.2%. The payroll tax is paid by employers and is used to fund public transit improvements, which is bullshit, obviously. That's why everyone's been against these bills and the funding of ODOT and all these funding packages for transportation and even TriMet, which are transportation ball measures is what they call it, because people have learned. They learned from the past, especially the recent past, like the last decade. And so they're like, our money in the billions every few years doesn't go to fix anything. Wow. Nothing gets better. It doesn't go to anything they promise. And most of it just disappears seemingly. Wow. Or it goes to projects that the majority of us have been against, like the fucking Rose Quarter project, which is the freeway expansion. So, which literally has had like over 80% of the state's population and voter base just rallied against it, and they still are forcing it through, and they haven't made any progress because of it. So they're at a stalemate and a standoff with the voters and the state residents.
Wow.
Because they do not want to let us have our way, which is that way they wouldn't be able to expand it. So yeah, all this is pretty much completely bullshit. So they're talking about local transportation such as TriMet and Lane Transit District, or LTD, which is obviously in county. That's Eugene, Springfield, Veneta, so on and so forth, Coburg, Junction City, Florence, have their own local transit payroll taxes in addition to the state's, which makes it that much more insulting if you think about it. With nearly
200,000 signatures!
They actually got way more than that. It got, I think, over 400,000 within the first. I think it was within the first month they got over 400,000 signatures, and they're like, because. That's how much people are pissed at this.
I bet. Jeez.
Has not identified a campaign in support of a yes on vote referendum 120 to uphold the law. Yeah, see? So that's the one that needs a campaign.
No
the other one, it's on life support. The other one doesn't fucking need it at all. So,
wow.
Yeah. Bruce Starr, Republican, responded saying Governor Tina Kotek's sport tampon is not repealing this bill because she suddenly discovered it was bad policy. She's doing it because Oregonians stood up, made their voices heard, and forced her into making a political decision to save face. And yeah, the Oregon governor election is coming up very quick. So as a result, like
she's trying to save face for the
because everyone already was just like livid at the transportation idea.
Well, no kidding.
Then she goes and illegally pushes this through and then tries to paint it as if she did it during the special session when she didn't.
Is she going up against Chris Dudley?
And a bunch of other people, yeah.
Who else is going in there?
I don't know. Obviously, we're gonna find out the full list within the next year.
Oh my gosh, man.
Yeah.
Dude, this could have basically torpedoed her chances.
Yeah. Well, how popular Tobias Reed was, though, I'm actually surprised he didn't really compete in last year's election. And also, what's funny is he's Washington County, so he's from here. He's from the area, right here at home. And yet, the counties that voted a majority for him were all in rural Oregon and like the Northeast and the Republican areas, which I thought was really funny. Because I'm pretty sure he's also a Democrat, so it was like, all of that was just really funny to me. But anyway, again, I can just refer you guys to my own video that I did on this if you want to get the full summary of what this all was about. And then also, actually, I not only recommend next episode, I also recommend my IBR corruption video, which especially post leaks of their corruption. And then I also highly recommend you guys feel free to check out, I even recommend you check out my last two Dan's Dashcam Chronicles videos. I released one literally today, April 12th of 2026, that has, I would say, at least one major actually two, really, road construction and or reconstructions and widening issues, because that was all happening literally in the middle of the special session, while ODOT claimed they had literally zero funding. They had negative funding, and they literally didn't have any money to function at all or do any projects. And then obviously the episode before last, there was tons of road work going on all across the west side of the Portland area that was just not only widening and realigning roads, it was especially resurfacing roads, including 198th and Aloha randomly they decided to fucking resurface. And it's like, yeah, it's been needing it pretty badly for a while, but you didn't even, like, normally they give a notice beforehand because there's normal single family homes there and businesses, right? And it's a major thoroughfare at this point for the west side. So, but they didn't even notify us. And so, like, all of that, and then also knowing that there's bunches of sections of I-5 that they're widening, especially south of Wilsonville, and it's just like, you put all that together while it was September, during the special session, ODOT says there's nothing there. That's why I recommend you watch those two Dan's Dashcam Chronicles on my channel as well, because you can get like a fuller picture of all of this and why voters pretty much have all just said, nah, this is pointless. We're not going to fucking fund you because you don't fix anything that you're supposed to fix anyway. So this is pretty much inevitably going to pass. And I say pretty much because it's kind of have to, because obviously nobody knows the future. But I'm 100% confident this is going to pass with fucking flying colors. This might actually be damn near record breaking in terms of the support it's going to get from voters. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets 80% of the vote.
Jeez.
To repeal it. The good thing is, though, in looking at the repeal and what the repeal is going to do, is that it's... and this is obviously, again, to save face for herself as well, is that it's not going to include yanking all the other stuff that they already unanimously reached across the aisle and everyone, including voters, agreed on that they should change for the better in transportation policies, including, you know, adding constitutional text and rules on implementation of tolls on the freeways, like they're insisting to do, so that way it's better, like everyone's much more clear and concise on who's going to pay and who's going to pay what and how it's going to be implemented and everything else, right? But also trucking reforms, mainly for their safety and their protections, including union related stuff. which everybody pretty much unanimously supported too. Tina Kotek originally wanted to repeal that. When she said she wanted to repeal her own bill, 3991, she actually, when you really actually hear from insiders, she was actually talking about repealing everything. And I mean everything, well beyond her own bill. Anything that was transportation related, she wanted to repeal. Basically, it was not just to save face, it was retaliation.
Yeah.
But if you can tell by looking through this, she's no longer looking to repeal those things anymore. Yeah. She's only looking to repeal her own stuff. So that, I guarantee, is also to save face, because enough people realize that's what's going on and called her out for bullshit again. And that made her more panicked, I'm sure. Because, like, who's going to support Kotek's tampon anymore? You know? Yeah. And by the way, when I was talking about Tobias Reed before, that was not like some sort of an endorsement or something being like, I wish he was governor. It was literally just an observation.